Hi, I'm Brandy McDonald, Arts and Entertainment Writer for the Oklahoman and News OK. I have here in the News OK studios today Amy Scott. She is a filmmaker from originally from Oklahoma, who is back in town for the deadCENTER Film Festival, where she's got her film Hal playing. And it is a documentary about Oscar-winning filmmaker Hal Ashby. And it's also your first film as a director. So how did you decide to make that your first film as a director?
Well, I've been editing for, I don't know, 15 plus years. When I read a book that was written about Hal Ashby, written by Nick Dawson, it was a fascinating look at his life and his journey, and I just connected with Hal because he was an editor for a number of years, won an Oscar for editing In the Heat of the Night, and he directed his first film when he was 40, and I thought, okay. It's not too late, and I really wanted to see this film made. I thought that this film had already been made, and I Googled it. I went to go try and find it, and it wasn't there. And so I felt really compelled to do it, and it didn't. It was just one of those things that happened for me late in the game, but it was exciting.
Well, and this is a film that this is a name that people might not recognize off the top of their head, Hal Ashby.
Right.
But he made some incredible films in the '70s, some Oscar-winning films. Harold and Maude. He made Shampoo. He made Coming Home. He made Bound for Glory, about Woody Guthrie.
That's right.
And so he made some really significant films, and it's interesting. I think he also had a very sort of colorful background, and so it's interesting that this film hadn't been made. So what is it about Hal Ashby did you most want people to know whenever you made the film?
He was just a director. It's the fact that he wasn't a household name. Like everyone knows Scorsese. A lot of people know Robert Altman. There's a number of filmmakers in the '70s that they're like, oh yeah, it's a household name. He made those films in a row. So he made these phenomenal works of art that sort of defined this generation of American cinema, and I wanted people to know that. I wanted people to know the themes of his films. I feel like are, even though they were made in the '70s, they're extremely relevant today. So he tackles racism and gentrification, anti-war thematic. So I just felt like it was an important film to be, an important person to be lifted into the spotlight again.
And he made Bound for Glory, which is about another Oklahoman.
And Bound for Glory, about Woody Guthrie.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, you're originally from Lawton, and I think you went to OU, and then from OU, where'd you go?
I went to Chicago. I worked a lot for the University of Chicago. I taught myself how to edit there. I did a lot of documentary style editing, and then I worked for Studs Terkel, and that was really the postgraduate school of the interview technique of filmmaking. So I was in charge of his audio archives and digitizing those, so I could just listen for hours on end to studs interviewing like Mahalia Jackson or James Baldwin or any number of incredible personalities in American history. So it really taught me just how to conduct an interview, how to sort of set things up and let the dialogue flow. So it transferred well into this sort of the talking head documentary that I ended up making.
Well, I think this is the official Hal Ashby documentary. I think you got to work with his estate on that. And how did that go, and how did that sort of help create the film that you made?
Well, Hal Ashby was not a showy, flashy man, so he wasn't really in the spotlight. It was hard to track down interviews with him or any kind of press interviews or photos. He was behind the camera, and so I felt like we needed to partner with the estate just for materials alone, to get access to letters and photos, and they were wonderful. They gave us, they literally gave me the key to his studio space, which is out in the valley, and so it was completely covered in dust, and but it was a treasure trove of these little cinematic just ephemera from his films, like the wardrobes from Bound for Glory were in this giant trash bag. It'd say like David Carradine or Jane Fonda's outfit, whatever, skirt A and Coming Home. So it was an incredibly special experience that I felt really honored and privileged to have been given the key.
Yeah. Now this is your first film as a director, and it's played Sundance, and now it's at your hometown
Yes.
Home State Film Festival. So I guess, are you pleased with the reception it's been getting?
I'm extremely pleased. Yeah, you could safe to say my mind is blown by the whole experience. Sundance was a shock. It's like winning the film lottery, you know. It was an incredible experience. And then, so it's played there. It's playing at AFI Docs in DC next week. It's playing in Scotland as our European premiere, and then we'll have a theatrical release in the fall. However, coming home and bringing the film to Oklahoma is probably it's on the level with Sundance for me, because I can share it with my friends and my family and my people, my Okies.
Yeah. So you're in LA now.
I am.
How do you get back to Oklahoma very often, or has this kind of been a special treat to get to?
It's a special treat. I have 2 little children, so things are always in flux right now. So I try to get back when I can and see my family. They're very important.
Well, that's exciting. We're happy to have you here. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about women in film and giving women getting a chance to direct films and
Yes.
things like that. Are you pleased to be able to join the ranks of women directors?
I'm extremely pleased. Yes, I'm actually giving a screening to the DGA, the members of the DGA in LA when I get back, and I was thinking about, I can't wait to look out in the audience and see the number, how many women versus men are in the audience, and things are changing for the better, and I feel like for a long time, maybe I was more comfortable in the edit bay because I didn't have the confidence yet, or really was able to find my voice as a director, but I found it, and I think part of that is because of what's happening now and the empowerment that everyone has for women in the industry.
So
it's very exciting.
Directors Guild of America screening then, I guess.
Yes,
that's exciting. Yeah.
The DGA is the Directors Guild, correct.
I guess, is it something that, do you feel like it's important, I think, for women to get a chance to tell stories from their perspective?
Yes. Oh, definitely. I mean, you know, I made a documentary about a white man, so it's not, you know, I didn't make a feminist-based film, but I think just having a seat at the table, you know, having the opportunity to receive quality scripts, to get the call, to be a female DP or a female editor. These are all jobs that are, you know, they're typically skewed in the direction of men, and it's just really exciting to me what's going on right now. It's really important. So I feel very lucky to be doing this right now. Well,
I think too that it's great that you had the opportunity to make the movie that you wanted to make. Yeah. You could make a movie about a white male iconic director. You didn't have to go and make one about a woman or from a woman's issue, a woman's film.
True.
So I think that, do you feel like it's just important for women to get an opportunity to just tell the stories that they want to tell?
Yeah, precisely. Yes, very much so.
Yeah, well, it's exciting.
Thank you.
We're certainly happy that you're here, and looking forward to seeing how the film goes, and hopefully the theatrical release will get to come to Oklahoma as well.
Yes.
But until then, it's screening at 8 o'clock tonight, that's Friday, at the Oklahoma City Museum of Art, and then the second screening is 7 o'clock on Saturday at Harkins Bricktown 16 in the Mid-First Bank Theater as part of deadCENTER. And thanks for coming in today. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're really busy during deadCENTER, and we have lots of deadCENTER coverage at newsok.com and in the Oklahoman, so check that out. And we look forward to seeing how Hal does.
Thank you so much, Brandy. My pleasure.
Thanks for coming in.